Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the podcast, The Endurance of Labor Laws. I am your lovely host, Lesley Sullivan, and today is episode 110. We are going to take a look at the Office of Professional Responsibility. First of all, let me give a big shout out to my listeners. So big shout out to Texas, Oklahoma, Virginia, Florida, California, and New York. In terms of countries, the United States, Canada, and the Russian Federation. And just so you know, the month of June is National Adopt a Cat Month. So cats are cute. I love them very much. Let's go ahead and get started on this puppy here. The Office of Professional Responsibility was formed in 1975. Let's see here. It says the jurisdiction is the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice is their parent department. So it is a federal agency within a federal agency. The current office executive is Jeffrey R. Ragsdale. He is the Director and Chief Counsel. It says here the Office of Professional Responsibility, also known as OPR, is part of the United States Department of Justice, responsible for investigating attorneys employed by the DOJ who have been accused of misconduct or crimes in their professional functions. The OPR was established in 1975 by then Attorney General Edward Levi, following revelations of ethical abuse and serious misconduct by senior DOJ officials during the Watergate scandal. Now, we have not gone over the Watergate scandal, but we will do so later as we learn more about these rules, laws, and regulations. But there's a lot that went into that scandal, so there's definitely some information that we do need to discuss on that, just not right now. So a little bit information about the OPR. It says OPR's primary mission is to ensure that DOJ attorneys perform their duties in accordance with professional standards. The OPR receives reports of allegations of misconduct made against DOJ attorneys from many sources. Nearly half of all such allegations are reported to OPR by DOJ sources, such as the attorney involved. The remaining complaints come from a variety of sources, including private attorneys, defendants and civil litigants, other federal agencies, state or local government officials, judicial and congressional referrals, and media reports. Now, I will say this. I hope they don't put a lot of stock in media reports because journalism is not exactly trustworthy right now and hasn't been for the last 10 or 20 years. So I hope that they take that into account, that just because a journalist says something doesn't mean it's factual, and just because it looks factual doesn't mean that it is. Because there is so much misinformation out there, it's very unethical. That is unethical in itself. It says OPR gives expedited attention to judicial findings of misconduct. In many cases, the OPR notifies the accused attorney and requests a written response. Now, what I like about that is that they're giving both sides of the issue or the complaint to speak up and defend themselves. So that's always good to do that because that shows me that they care and they are doing their due diligence to try and figure out, was a crime really committed, and if so, what exactly happened? Because that will determine the nature of the outcome with it. So I'm glad that they look into those things and they actually give the accused attorney a chance to defend themselves because, you know, we live in the United States. People are innocent until proven guilty. So we need to remember that and keep that at the forefront of our mind. Goes on to say sometimes the OPR also makes on-site investigations. The OPR reports the results of the investigation to the component head concerned and to the Office of the Deputy Attorney General. The OPR also advises the complainant and the accused attorney of its conclusion. Now that I think is really good to do because I have found that sometimes when people, whether it is a federal agency or a state agency, they don't always let you know the outcome of what they found. So it's always like you're hanging in limbo and you've got this cloud of uncertainty hanging over you, which in that case, I would just pray about it and not worry about it. But I think it's good to know a conclusion, and also it's good to have a conclusion because then it's documented as to what they found. So that's really good because, you know, there's nothing worse than an unsolved case, right? So we want to make sure that we do our due diligence, that we give people a chance to defend themselves, and that we know the outcome and that the outcome is good and true. So, but anyway, that is it for this podcast. Short and sweet, to the point. But until next time, I pray that you're happy, healthy, and whole, that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.